Hey everyone, welcome back to the Infopedia Kids channel. Today we're gonna see how you can create your own ping pong game on Scratch. So I hope you're ready to learn. Let's jump right in. So for a ping pong game, we don't need this cat, so let's delete him. And instead, let's choose a ball. So first, let's choose our ball. Here's our ping pong ball. You can also choose a basketball, soccer ball, or any ball you want. I like that ball, so I'll choose that. So now we need something that the ball hits, it should bounce back. So for that, let's search paddle, and we should get our paddle sprite. So the paddle sprite is a little bit small, as you can see. So let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's change the size to maybe 130. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, that's good. And I'm also gonna go into costumes and change its color. So I want it to be more like a darker blue because I really like blue. So let's change the color to blue. So now let's go back into our code and let's choose a backdrop. This is not needed, but if you want to make it look cooler, then you can have this. So you can choose any backdrop you want. Fantasy, we have castles, we have so many different kinds of backdrops in Scratch. I think I like, I think I like this Neo tunnel. It's really like, it's like we're in, it looks, I don't know why, I just like it. So let's start the coding. So when the green flag is clicked, we want our paddle to move to this position. So let's go into motion and let's drag out the go to X and Y block. So our paddle should move to this exact position when I click the green flag. So now let's go into the control. Let's drag out the forever block and also the if and then block. So here's what's gonna happen. If we click the right arrow, it's gonna move this way, and if we click the left arrow, it's gonna move this way, left and right. So for that, we need to go into sensing. So let's drag out the key space pressed, and let's click this little arrow, and let's click right arrow. So if the key right arrow is pressed, then we want to change it X by 10. If we want the paddle to go right, then we have to change the X by 10. And if we want it to go left, we have to change the X by minus 10. So let's go into motion and let's drag out the change X by 10. Change X by 10. So as you can see, our paddle is moving right. So now we want the paddle to also move left. So now let's repeat the same thing, but for the left arrow. So if and then let's go to sensing, key space pressed. Now remember, this time it's the left arrow. So if it's left arrow, then instead of changing X by 10, we should change the X by minus 10. So change the X by minus 10 and let's test it. So as you can see, our paddle is moving and it's going out of the map, which is a problem. So let's drag out the if on edge bounce block. So now our paddle code is complete. It's moving left and right, and it's not going out of the map. So now we want the ball to move. If it hits the paddle, it should bounce off. If it hits the wall, it should bounce. So for that, let's go into our ball. Let's go into events and drag out the first block when green flag clicked. And we want to go into control. Let's drag out the forever block. Motion, move 10 steps. So we want it to move 10 steps forever. And if it's on the edge, we want it to bounce. Edge bounce. So as you can see, our ball is moving. So I'm gonna put it in this position. So as you can see, if it's touching the paddle, it's just going past it. So we want it to bounce off. So for that, let's go into our operators. Let's drag out the pick random 1 to 10. So instead of pick random 1 to 10, let's do 150 to 10. So now let's go into our motion. Let's drag out the turn 15 degrees clockwise block. Let's keep the pick random inside. And let's go into control. Let's drag out the if and then block. So let's keep this block inside. So if it's touching the paddle, so let's go into sensing. Let's drag out this touching mouse pointer block. So if it's touching the paddle, it's going to move it's going to move clockwise in the other direction. So I'll show you. As you can see, our ball is bouncing off the paddle. So now this is the basic for the ping pong game. So this will just keep on going on and on and on. So for example, if the player does not defend if the ball touches this edge, that means that the player should be out. That's basically the game. So for that, let's go into our backdrops. Let's go into backdrops and let's go into this paint, and I'm going to change the paint to maybe sort of like a reddish color. Yeah, kind of like a red. And you'll see why I'm doing this. I'm just going to paint this whole downside red. So you'll see why I'm doing this in a minute. So let's just paint this whole thing red. My painting is a little bit clumsy, but this should do, I guess. So there we go. There's our red border. It's a little bit clumsy, but we'll work with that. So now let's go into our code. Oops, sorry, not our code. Let's go back into backdrops, and let's make a backdrop in which if the player loses, it should like show a backdrop. So just go into here and click this paint option. So now we can paint our own backdrop. Let's choose the color to be more light, like sort of like yellowish kind of color. You can choose any color. Yeah, I like this color, kind of light. So now let's fill up the whole entire page. So I'm gonna fill up the entire page with this, and also the up. So as you can see, the entire screen is filled. So now let's type. So let's go into type. Let's change the color to black. So you can type anything. I'm going to type "you lost." So let's make this text bigger. Why we're doing this is so that the player knows if we lost, or else the game will just continue for a long time. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, I guess that big's good. So now let's center it. So that's the center point. So let's center it. And let's rename the backdrop as lost. Yeah, I guess lost. So now let's go back into our balls code. Let's go to the code. So now if it's touching, oh yeah, I forgot. Let's go into, before that, let's go into looks, and let's drag out the switch costume, switch backdrop to neon tunnel. So we don't want it to be any other backdrop. We want it to be the neon tunnel. So if the ball is touching this red color, that means it should show the backdrop. So let's go into the control. let's drag out the if and then block. Let's keep it below if. So if the ball is touching color, if it's touching the red color, now you know why I did this line. If it's touching the red color, we should show the backdrop. So you can keep the red color if you want, but I think it would be easier to go into the scanner and just scan the red color. So I'm gonna keep it where there's the red color and scan. So as you can see, if touching color red, we're gonna go into looks, we're gonna switch the backdrop to lost, and we also want the program to stop. So let's go into control and we're gonna make it stop. So stop all. So now let's test out our code. As you can see, if we touch, it's showing that you lost. So I'm gonna try playing it for a little bit. So as you can see, yeah. So the goal is to, I think that the ball should be here. So the goal is to try to stop the ball. Whoa, okay, so it's a little bit hard, but you'll get the hang of it once. So I think the ball should be in the correct, yeah, there we go. So now as you can see, the ping pong is working. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There's so many other things that you can do with it. You can make 2 players so that you can work together or anything. So stay tuned for more videos on Scratch, and if you like this video, give a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to Infopedia Kids. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video, everybody. Bye bye.